Live from the sold-out San Diego Sports Arena, it's the battle for the MISL Championship as the San Diego Sockers take on the Baltimore Blast. Game 5 of the championship series is brought to you by McDonald's. It's a good time for the great taste of McDonald's. By your 9 great San Diego County Volkswagen dealers. Drive the 85 Golf and Jetta and find out what driving is all about. And by Budweiser, the king of beer. Reach for that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you.
At the Baltimore Civic Center and in front of a nationwide television audience, Steve Jungle began a spectacular day setting up Cas Dana for Game 4's first goal. In the second period, the passing of Jungle is again a key as he sets up Cha-Cha Namdar, giving the Sockers a 4-1 lead. And before the half ended, Jungle, who rewrote the record books with 7 assists on the day, plays a perfect pass to Brian Quinn. 6-2 San Diego. Then with Baltimore looking to make a comeback in the second half, the Sockers take it from the kickoff. Jungle down the wing for Bronco Segota, and then the setup off the wall for defender Kevin Crowe. A rout was in the making as the Sockers lead 7-2. And in the fourth period, San Diego was still scoring. This time, Gene Wilrich using his head, and the Sockers lead Baltimore with a 14-2 win. Good evening, everyone. I'm Randy Hahn. Welcome live to the Sports Arena in San Diego in what may very well be the deciding game of the Major Indoor Soccer League season tonight. The San Diego Sockers, by virtue of that win Saturday back in Baltimore, have a 3-1 lead over the Blast, and they hope to capture their 4th straight indoor championship tonight. The task for Baltimore, try and win in a building where the Sockers have not lost in 19 straight playoff games. We're glad you're with us on this very special evening at the Sports Arena, and we'll be back with the head coaches after this.
Your eyes are about to deceive you. Here comes Fujifilm. With color pictures so true to life, it's a real breakthrough. Fuji HR Films. Fuji's advanced technology has developed a higher resolution film than we've ever had before. So we give you sharper pictures with truer color than ever before. Get extraordinary Fuji films and get the true picture. Fujifilm is now available at most Kmart stores.
Can somebody out there tell me why Coke did it? Why they changed? First, they said they were the real thing. Then they said they were it. Then kablooey, they changed. So now, I'm going to try my first Pepsi. But I still want to know why Coke changed. Now I know why.
Pepsi, the choice of a new generation.
Another sizzling summer's coming. It's time to stock up on the cool, crisp taste of Budweiser and Bud Light. So pick a pair of 6-packs, 12-packs, or even cases, and enter the Pick-A-Pair sweepstakes wherever you see this display. You could win a pair of IROC Z28 Camaros. Pick a pair of 6-packs, Bud.
If you've been waiting to experience the thrill of driving the hottest new Volkswagens, they've arrived. For topless entertainment, it's the exciting Cabriolet. If you like to cut corners, carve them up with a Scirocco. But if you really want to fly GTI. Motor Trend's Car of the Year at your San Diego County Volkswagen dealer.
We're back at the Sports Arena. With me, the respective coaches here in this championship series. To my immediate right, Kenny Cooper of the Baltimore Blast, and of course, Sockers head coach Ron Newman. And first of all, Ron, have you ever seen the Sockers play like that as they did on Saturday, and can it happen again in this series?
Well, I certainly hope it can happen again, but I've never seen them play that long. I've seen them play in spasms that well, but never for a whole 60 minutes, and they never let up from start to finish. It must have been very difficult for Kenny.
Kenny, I know listening to you, you were mic'd during the game by CBS. You've worked very hard to try and keep your players up even after the score got out of hand, but inevitably there has to be some dejection after a game like that.
Well, I think it was one of those games, and maybe like the LA Lakers against Boston, maybe the two coaches, and I know Pat Riley must be feeling the same way as I felt after the game. What do you do to have to stop a team playing that well? I thought it was a tremendous display, and I think it surprised everybody. Certainly, we were stunned. The city of Baltimore was stunned, and hopefully it'll never happen again. We came out on the plane, and I managed to sit down with every player, and they've got to put it behind them. It's a new day today. We have to come in here like a band of thieves and try and steal a soccer game.
Ron, the only mystery going into this game from the soccer standpoint, who you will start in goal. It is Zoltan Toth's turn, but will you go that way?
It'll be Jimmy Toth. Will be playing in goal. Now, Jimmy Gorsuch will play. I think he earned the right in that last game, played brilliantly, I thought, in the last game. So Jimmy will start. And I feel sorry for Solly, but, you know, I told the two of them if one ever leads me to feel a little bit more confident for a certain game, I will go with him.
My thanks to Ron Newman and Kenny Cooper. Game 5 approaches, and we'll be back after this.
We're all members of the Padres pack. Right here's our home plate. McDonald's, quarter pounder with seeds or a great big Mac. Join us, don't be late. A large size drink and bonus fries. The Padres pack puts stars in your eyes. What a good time. The Padres pack for the great taste. We'll be back on McDonald's.
Running smooth and silent, Exxon, Exxon. Running strong and sure, Exxon, Exxon. Running strong and easy, running with the Tiger.
Across America, people count on Exxon Extra, our highest octane unleaded premium. It quiets knocks and pings for smooth performance.
This is Randy Hahn back live at the Sports Arena in San Diego. A sellout crowd as we await the start of Game 5 of this championship series. Glad you're with us on this very special simulcast here on KLZZ and Channel 51. Now the anthem.
From the mountain to the prairie, to the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. From the mountain to the prairie, to the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet
Kate Smith, ladies and gentlemen.
God bless America. A very familiar tune here at the Sports Arena as the Sockers in Baltimore Blast now prepare for the 5th and maybe the deciding game of this major indoor soccer league season. San Diego leads this best of 7 3-1. it may be up to Scott Manning to do the job tonight. He is in the nets for the Baltimore Blast, defending the goal to our left. Manning comes into this game with a goals against record in the playoffs of 5.55 and a 6-5-1 loss record, and that goals against took a big beating on Saturday afternoon when the Sockers scored 14 times. And the big question before today was who would play in goal for the San Diego Sockers. It is not a question any longer. It was Zoltan Toth's turn. Jim Gorsuch will be in the nets for the San Diego Sockers. And what a spectacular performer he has been in the playoffs. A goals against record of 2.36 and a 6-1 one-loss record. Kenny Cooper, a lot on his mind. All the pressure on his shoulders tonight as the Blast have to win to stay alive and take this series back to Baltimore for a Game 6 on Thursday. Ron Newman doesn't want to make any travel plans. He'd rather end it all and start a much-deserved vacation after tonight. We're all set with the Blast wearing their road red, yellow, and orange uniforms. Red shorts and socks defending to go to our left. And the Sockers defending to go to our right in their home whites with blue shorts and gold socks. And a sellout crowd on hand here, not an empty seat in the house. They sold this one out first thing this morning, and they likely could have put several thousand more in here had the building been big enough. Starting line for the Sockers, Jungle, Wilrich, and Segota up front with Fernando Clavillo and Kevin Crow in the back. Baltimore with possession from the kickoff. Bruce Savage, a fine young American defender, with the ball. Plays it to the left wing side for Whitman. Whitman sends it ahead for Mike Stankovic, and now the magician, Stan Stankovic, playing the ball in. Here's Pat Hercules. Right off the opening. Flash still with possession. Stankovic in the corner to the left. And Segota works him over to get the ball free for Jungle. Steve plays it ahead. Now in a race with Whitman, and Jungle pushing him over, commits the foul. Tim Whitman, a little quicker than Steve Jungle, and Steve crossing the Baltimore red line on the right wing side just gave a shove that sent Mr. Whitman sprawling onto the grass. Or the carpet. We're just underway live here on the simulcast. No score in Game 5, and Gene Wilrich gets it for San Diego. To the left point, and over to the right now for Kevin Crow. Back left side for Segota. Bronco being watched closely by Stankovic, goes to the side, in front, Jungle with a chance. Segota back in the box, another drive. Here's Crow with a shot, and that goes into Scott Manning's iron. The quick distribution to the red line. Stankovic bumped off the ball again by Segota as the Sockers turn it on early. Bronco up the middle, to his left for Wilrich. Wilrich with 4 goals in Game 4. To Segota, watch for the shot, and he doesn't get it as Richard Chinapoo closes tight on the San Diego goal scorer. Back to the left point now for George Katakalitis, and he'll roll it over midfield as the Sockers reorganize. Katakalitis, right football into the zone for Steve Jungle, too far, and the Sockers and Blast will complete a line change. Manning plays it up the left side for Chinapoo. Chinapoo had 2 goals in Game 3. That was the 10-6 Baltimore win, and they looked awesome that night. But only 2 days later, they came back with one of their worst performances ever. Here now is Jacques Ladouceur in midfield to the left for Brian Quinn. Now to the right side for Brian Schmetzer. Over to Quinn again, who has 7 goals in the last 3 games. 2 hat-tricks in the championship series for Quinn. Not known as a goal scorer per se, more as a checker, and one who may be the engine, along with Gene Wilrich, that makes this soccer machine churn and churn. Here's Schmetzer. Left foot shot. A high carom off the glass that comes down to Katakalitis. He plays a one-time ball into the box. Manning gets that, sends it back to midfield. Dave McWilliams, back of his own red line for Richard Chinapoo. Scoreless here in period 1 of Game 5. Hines Wirtz now across the San Diego line for Dave McWilliams out of Philadelphia Textile. Wirtz out of West Germany plays it back up the right side for Joey Fink. Fink under pressure from Katakalitis. Back for Wirtz. Now to the left side for Ernie Buriano. Buriano being watched by Kaz Dana. He's coming off a 2-goal effort Saturday. Buriano backing up now to Wirtz as the Blast try and get out of midfield. Up the wing for Chinapoo. Quinn kicking at his heels. The ball comes back for Buriano. Now a giveaway. Dana with Ladouceur. Katakalitis supporting on the right side. Here's Ladouceur. Kicked by Buriano. Back for Katakalitis. George will walk it into the slot. Back for Brian Quinn at the line. He flips it up. Now passes back to the right for Schmetzer. Sockers change on the run as Crow comes on for Ladouceur. And Katakalitis also off on the ship. Crow in for Dana. Kazzy back for Steve Jungle at the left point. Across for Kevin Crow. Into the box. He let it go for Dana, but Kaz ran past it, and the blast come back. Ainsworth's at midfield. Over to Ernie Buriano on the right point side, just in front of the San Diego Sockers bench. Now up the left side for Dave McWilliams. Just inside the San Diego zone, plays it to the right for Joey Fink. Fink watched closely into midfield for Buriano, ahead for Chinapoo. Chinapoo's got a good shot, especially with his left foot. He'll tend to go to that side. And now it's back to Wirtz. Ahead for Joey Fink. Into the middle for Wirtz. Ahead for McWilliams. He drops it back for Wirtz. A shot into the box, picked out by Crow. Dana breaks it free to Steve Jungle at the near side. And then back out for Kevin Crow. Blast did a good job getting back that time, and they have to assume a defensive posture, Baltimore, if they hope to take this back to Chesapeake Bay. Here's Wilrich. Takes it wide to the right. Shot just wide. And Crow, after the rebound, has it kicked away by Wirtz for goal kick, or a corner kick, San Diego. We have 10:37 left to go in the first period on the Kobe Swap Meet scoreboard. We're scoreless, and back after this. Jungle into the box. To Clavillo, a shot. Jungle again. And Manning with a great fingertip save at the far post. Segota with it in the right corner again as Manning comes up big early, and that has to be a confidence lifter after game 4. Now Stankovic brings it out of the back to Stan Stankovic for Baltimore. Remember, they're playing for their lives. Whitman off the back wall, and this will go to Jim Gorsuch, and he'll send it up the right wing for Segota. Segota with a shot from outside the area, a weak one, and Scott Manning handles that without too much problem. You have to think Bronco Segota could be due. He had just 1 goal Saturday, and it's not often that the Sockers score 14 goals, and Segota only has 1. Ball off the wall. Gorsuch will come to the edge of the box to get this one. And now it's up the left side for Steve Daly. Still a scoreless tie here in period 1 live at the Sports Arena. Daly to his right for Fernando Clavillo. Fernando with 2 short-handed goals in game 3. Left foot pass hits Pat Ercole. It'll come back for Kevin Crow, back of his own red line. Up the left side for Brian Quinn. He turns it back for Crow, and this one gets by Kevin. He'll have to chase it. The Blast trying to contain San Diego between the red lines. That's one of the common strategies now in indoor soccer, to keep that other team from crossing into the other zone. Just bottle them up in midfield. Crow with it at near side, and he'll play it back for Gorsuch again as the Sockers have a little trouble moving it around on that sequence, but the important part, still keep possession. Coker's out there with Quinn and Daly. Here's Clavillo up the left side for Addy Coker. Whitman watching him. Coker back to the point for Katakalitis. George will back it out to midfield. Now to his right for Brian Quinn. Quinn in traffic. Does a good job to get free from Stankovic. Now it's in for Addy Coker. He moves in on goal across for Dana, who let it go through for Quinn, but nobody was there. Quinn had run past it. Pat Ercole brings it back for Baltimore. Quinn gets it away. And Ercole fouls him rather viciously, and that's a 2-minute penalty. Pat Ercole will go off after he tosses Brian Quinn down rather unceremoniously. He knew he'd been beaten, and a quite serious obstruction charge, and the Sockers called for the penalty, and they get it. Pat Ercole puts San Diego on the power play. The Sockers' power play so far, 56% effective, 14 goals on 25 attempts. And Ercole not happy about that. That's his 6th penalty minute in the playoffs. Power play now. Bronco Segota at the right point with Wilrich. Here's Wilrich in the slot. To the left for Kaz Dana, and he'll lose it to Ernie Buriano. Quinn got it back for a moment. Now plays it to midfield for Segota. Here's Bronco to the left for Jungle. Back across, but blocked by Savage. Now Steve, far post. Dana, left footer, and he missed it. And now Wirtz will work it back out to midfield. Dana, Quinn, Segota, Jungle, and Wilrich on this power play. And that it is. Wilrich up the right wing for Quinn. Handles it nicely. Plays it back to the right point for Dana. Under some pressure to the middle for Wilrich. Now to Segota. Jungles at the back wall. Bronco's shot goes off a foot wide to the right. Dana will play to carry him off the glass. Back for Segota. He goes into a sliding tackle to get it, but it's worked out to Richard Chinapoo for Baltimore. Chinapoo ahead for Ernie Buriano. He's got to break down the left side. Buriano coming down shorthanded at drive, and that goes off a leg and wide. And now Wilrich has it. Through the legs of Chinapoo, is down to block the pass. Quinn gets it to midfield for Dana. Kazi to Jungle. In on goal, down the left side. Jungle shoots. Manning the save, but we had a foul by Jungle. And Bruce Savage showed some excellent speed coming back to block Steve Jungle's run down the left lane. And now there's 53 seconds left in the Baltimore penalty. Still scoreless here with 7:25 left to go in period one. Joey Fink taking the distribution from Scott Manning at midfield. Knocked free by Quinn. Zungle was after it, but Wirtz gets it back to Savage. Up to midfield, Tim Whitman on the run. Takes the pass along the near wall, gets past Gene Wilrich. The shot, Gorsuch blocks it at the near post. Now up the left side. Here comes Dana. He's got Jungle and Segota. Kazi leaves it at the point for Jungle. To the red line for Wilrich. He tries to go by Whitman. Tripped up on the play. Slides it free for Jungle. Steve at the near side. Plays it back to the left post for point for Wilrich. To Segota with 15 seconds in the power play. To the corner for Quinn. Off the wall. Blocked out by Joey Fink and out of play. For kick-in Sockers with 11 seconds left in this power play. Quinn getting set to put it in from the far corner. Well, if there is a game 6, it will be in the Baltimore Civic Center on Thursday night. And we would have the simulcast for you live on Channel 51 KUSI-TV at 4:30 Thursday with the rebroadcast on Class AM 600 at 7. Now Quinn on the corner kick. Not really a corner kick in, but from the corner. 2 yards off the corner spot. Quinn hits it right at Whitman. Now on the rebound, gets it off the wall. In front, just wide. Trying to tip it in, and it's cleared back to midfield. Gorsuch will get it, and the penalty for Baltimore will run out, and Erkley will get right in on it. He's out of the box now. Teams at even strength. Segota's shot hits Whitman, and then goes screaming into the seats. So the Blast kill off the first power play against, as Erkley is out of the box now, and we'll break with 6:29 left in the first period here at the Sports Arena on our Kobe Swap Meet scoreboard. We're still scoreless in Game 5.
Come aboard Invader Cruises. Spend a romantic evening on beautiful San Diego Bay. The Invader offers a 2-entree dinner, all your drinks and dancing to live music, all for only $29.50. Or perhaps you prefer the 1985 San Diego Showboat Special with dinner served in a heated dining room, dancing to live entertainment, and happy hour drink prices, all for only $19.85. Dine out tonight aboard the Schooner Invader or the San Diego Showboat. For reservations, call 298-8066, 298-8066.
Kick-in Sockers. The ball back to midfield for Gene Wilrich with the teams at even strength. Bronco Segota trying to set it up in the middle, and this will go to Pat Erkley. Erkley up for Mike Stankovic. Stankovic, such a key performer for Baltimore all year. Pass to Whitman. Shot. Blocked very well by Fernando Clavillo. And this will come back as Baltimore corner kick. Stankovic over the ball for Baltimore on this corner kick to the left of Jim Gorsuch. Still scoreless in period 1. Stankovic waiting, plays it across, and Gene Wilrich kicks it out of play again. And this will come back as another corner kick for Baltimore. Now, if the series went to a 7th game, and Baltimore would have to win the next 2 to force that, it would be here on Saturday night. Stankovic out of the corner again, into the high slot. Stankovic's shot, and Gorsuch with the save, and now the Sockers get it back in their own end, but a dangerous kick called against Steve Daly, as he and a Baltimore player were both challenging for the ball. Blast get it back on the right side of the San Diego zone. Stankovic to Stankovic. He stutter steps toward the penalty area, now to the right point again for Stankovic. He moves in on Daly, giveaway, and it's Addy Coker breaking out with Gene Wilrich. Wilrich to midfield. Savage, that good defender, watching Gene. He weaves his way across the top of the zone. Whitman kicks it loose, but right to Fernando Clavillo. Now it's Katakalides at the red line, ahead for Dana. And that's knocked off his foot by Pat Erkley. Dana picking away at it, trying to knock it loose. Woolridge had it for a moment, lost it to Whitman again. And now a foul against Woolridge. And the Sockers have 4 fouls. The Baltimore Blast with none. Now Woolridge and Whitman going after it. Whitman kicked it loose. And Gene coming back along the boards. Looked to me like he played the ball totally. We'll question that call. Here's Chinapoo for Baltimore up the right side. He's got some room in that big shot. Lets it go. It's off Gorsick. McWilliams was cruising in for the rebound but missed it. Now works from the point. Left side for Joey Fink. He's watched by Clavillo. Fink off the wall. Cleared by Coker but not out. Chinapoo again into the slot. Left foot shot blocked by Katakalinas. Ahead for Dana. Kazzy behind his own red line as Clavillo breaks out the right wing side. Crow comes off the bench and takes the pass, and Dana never saw Clavillo. Sox change on the run as Namdar has it in midfield with under 5 minutes in the opening period. Crow left puts it into the right corner for Jungle. Ainsworth's watching him. Steve back out the wing for Namdar. Now back in for Jungle. He likes it in the corners. Jungle's set up many goals from that position. A la Wayne Gretzky in hockey behind the net. Jungle is superb in the corner. Dana back out the left point side into midfield. Schmetzer relays it on to Namdar. Now the right side for Kevin Crow. The pace rather tentative to start out here, and one would expect it with so much on the line. Namdar back out to midfield for Schmetzer as the Sockers now are having some trouble getting it into the Baltimore end. They'll back it out as Namdar goes beyond midfield, plays it to his right for Schmetzer. Some pressure. Here's Namdar getting it up the right side. He's got Dana ahead, and Crow breaking down the right wing. Lost it, but it comes to Dana. Kazzy kicks, and it's loose to Jungle, and that's Baltimore's first foul. Jungle on a quick restart, but they'll bring it back to the spot where it was initially blown down. Our senior referee tonight is Taurus Kabrichin as Dana kicks it right at goal from the free kick. Manning with the save, and now it's up in the seats and out of play for Baltimore goal kick. 3:52 left in our first period on the Kobe Swap Meet scoreboard. It's still scoreless here at the Sports Arena. We're back after this. Randy Hahn back live on the simulcast here on KLZZ, AM 600 San Diego, and KUSI TV Channel 51 Cable 9. This is Game 5 of the Major Indoor Soccer League Championship Series. The Sockers against the Baltimore Blast. A rekindling of a rivalry born 2 years ago. Ladouceur, left side for Kevin Crow. His shot was blocked. Ladouceur in traffic, plays it back out to the line for Brian Quinn. Quinn trying to go by Pat Ercole. Left foot drive, and Manning with the stop on a hot shot by Quinn. The relay intercepted by Segota. In on goal. Bronco shoots. Scores! Bronco Segota was due. A bullet right foot shot, handcuffing Scott Manning at the near post, and with speed like that, it's awfully tough to do much about it. Segota puts the Sockers on top 1-0 and brings this crowd to their feet for the first of what may indeed be many times tonight. His 21st of the playoffs, unassisted from the steal. And Manning has to be shaking his head and blaming himself somewhat for that one. 11:44, time of the goal. 1-0 Sockers. We're live at the Sports Arena. Bruce Savage now out the right side for Stankovic. He plays it deep for Stamenkovic. He's got those skills. Daly stays with him. Savage is shot. They score. And just the way Game 4 started on Saturday, with the Sockers scoring in Baltimore coming right back, the Blast equalized. Bruce Savage on a feed from Stan Stamenkovic right to the top of the box. Gorsick got a little of it, but there was a lot of traffic in front. And Stamenkovic, with those great moves, didn't have Steve Daly fooled because Daly stayed with him, but a great pass into the slot. 1-1 our score as Savage gets his first of the playoffs from Stan Stomakovich at 12:06, just 22 seconds after the goal by Segota. And they have broken the ice. Katakalitis, a left foot ball lobbing into Kaz Dana, cleared by Ernie Buriano, and it'll come back to Jim Gorsick. Hard to fault Gorsick on that one. It was a point-blank drive that he got a piece of. This time, the feed to midfield intercepted by Buriano for the blast. And now it's Heinz Wirtz with 2:20 left in the opening period. Up the right wing for Joey Fink. Fink across the line, moving in on Dana, plays it wide to the right for Chinapoo. Off the wall, Gorsick mishandles it a little bit. He'll draw it back into the box and jump on it. Gorsick rolling it up the left side. Kaz Dana, the Sockers' starry captain, a World Cup and Olympic hero. Ball in for Quinn. Nice ball, too. He's kicked by Buriano, and that's Baltimore's second foul. And a good free kick at the right edge of the box. He got it about a yard deep in, but it's outside the area. Dana tried to fake the pass into the slot for Katakalitis. It was deflected. Now Quinn out of the corner, tripped up by Chinapoo, trying to get it out. Still in the corner, and Dana has it. Kazi plays it out for Schmetzer. He traps it down, tries to get it to Katakalitis, but it's intercepted by McWilliams. 2-on-2 with Heinz Wirtz. Chinapoo supporting down the left wing side, but Wirtz is turned around by Ladouceur. Now it's Joey Fink, the near side of midfield, playing it across for Buriano as the Sockers make a change. Buriano, long pass, deep for McWilliams, takes it with the right foot, goes to the wall, has to back out with Katakalitis playing tough defense. Now Wirtz. Edge of the box for McWilliams again, and Katakalitis bumps him out of the way, and Gorsick's got possession. Sockers with 4 fouls. Gene Wilrich at his own red line. A long chip ahead for Jungle. He'll play this one off the wall, comes back out, knocked down on the play, and Buriano with the ball back for Baltimore. To Mike Stankovic, back to Buriano as a lane, which is quickly closed by Wilrich. Buriano out to the high slot now for Stankovic. Kicked loose by Dana to Jungle. Back for Captain Kazi. This is a 2-on-3, though, as Dana brings it to the red line, now to the right side for Wilrich. Gene makes a move, shoots, and with the save, and he went down low again to make a nice stop. Dana again with 20 seconds to go, in for Jungle, and a foul Baltimore. And this free kick, a very opportune one, just off the right edge of the penalty area, half a yard off the corner. Jungle standing over the ball. Takes a drive right at the wall, and it comes back off and into midfield for Wilrich. And he'll just clear it on to Jim Gorsick. Out the right side for Schmetzer. Pressure. Gorsick goes back to Schmetzer again, and they'll just run down the clock. And that is the first period of play here on our Kobe Swap Meet scoreboard. It's the Sockers 1, the Baltimore Blast 1. Game 5 live continues in a moment. As the Sockers wind down this year's season, they're currently making plans for 1985-86, and so should you by finding out more about a soccer season ticket. And season ticket holders next year are going to receive some really special benefits. 5 games of free parking here at the arena. Priority on specified arena events. That means you can get tickets to concerts here, etc., on sports arena nights before the general public. And there'll also be a membership to the newly improved Arena Club. For more information on season tickets, call 224-GO. Well, the Sockers broke the ice here when Bronco Segota scored his 21st playoff goal. A rocket shot that came about after Scott Manning's distributing pass was intercepted by Segota, unassisted for Bronco to make it 1-0. But then just 22 seconds later, the blast came right back. Stan Stomakovich, a nice setup to Bruce Savage, whose shot went underneath Steve Jungle's foot. Of course, he touched it, but it rolled in to tie this game at 1. And now the second period set to start with the Sockers switching ends, now defending goal to our left. And again, it's Jungle and Segota out to start the shift, but Quinn now in the midfield in place of Wilrich. Crow and Clavillo in the back, and for Baltimore, it's Stomakovich, Stankovic, and Urkeley, with Whitman and Savage on the defensive line. Tim Whitman, not to be confused with Slim Whitman, drops it back to Scott Manning. Stomakovich off the left side glass. Stankovic gets a hold of this one, but he's kicked by Brian Quinn. And the Sockers have their first foul of period 2. Stankovic, a big, strong man, strong upper body a la Julie V, and he uses it so effectively. Leading fouls man for Baltimore in the regular season. So far in the playoffs, Stankovic with a total of 4 penalty minutes. Jungle plays it up the right wing for Segota, but too far, and Manning gets to this one in the right corner. Tries to bank it out. It comes back to Jungle. Steve to the edge of the box. A shot, and Manning with the save as he just threaded the needle, Jungle did, to the far post side. Sockers get it back again as Stomakovich tries a fancy pass with his heel. Here's Jungle. Nice ball from Clavillo. Goes to the wall. He's pushed, and there's a foul. And Jungle making his presence known, as he tends to do when you are the leading scorer. Great shot by Segota, a little high. Comes back down to the right point side for Kevin Crowe. He'll play it back to his own red line for Gorsuch. Now up the left side again for Jungle. Savage watching him. Steve trying to work it free for Segota. It goes off a leg to Stomakovich. He breaks out with Whitman and Urkeley. Sockers get 3 men back of the ball. Long pass for Whitman, and Gorsuch with the save on a beautiful, beautiful setup by Stomakovich. Here's Segota with Jungle. Bronco to Steve, and Manning's there again. And Jungle can't believe it. Manning helps him up as the play comes back to the other end. Stankovic at midfield, and Manning is hot so far, with the exception of the mistake on the distribution that led to the San Diego goal. Dave McWilliams for Baltimore in the left corner of the San Diego zone. Back for Richard Chinapoo, and now to midfield for Ernie Buriano. He'll send Heinz Wirtz down the right wing side. Ahead for McWilliams, poked back out to the point for Chinapoo. He winds up, squarely hits it across for Wirtz. Wirtz at the right point, back across, intercepted by Coker, and Gene Wilrich gets it. Wilrich to Katakalitis, and the Sockers head downfield. Katakalitis up to the red line, plays it to the right for Addy Coker. Coker up the wing for Steve Daly. He's pressured by Wirtz, heads downfield, is grabbed as Daly shoots, and that's Baltimore's second foul. Torres Cabrichin, number 8, the senior official. The referee is Jeff Mantell, and Kelly Mock is the box official. Brian Schmetzer on the right point side, back in the midfield to his left for Katakalitis. Now up the wing for Steve Daly. Daly trapping it down in the corner. Back out for Katakalitis, and he'll chase this one all the way to the red line, and in fact, he'll let it go for Gorsuch. We're live in the second period at the Sports Arena, a 1-1 tie. Katakalitis pass, headed down. Here comes Chinapoo and the Baltimore Blast. Chinapoo across the red line, watched by Addy Coker, and played back for Wirtz. Now to the left for Buriano. Across the San Diego line to the left for Chinapoo. He pokes it back to the right point for Wirtz. Now to Buriano. He sends it in for McWilliams. Chinapoo with a volley, half volley shot. Katakalitis has it back for Jim Gorsuch. Now the Sox change on the run. Schmetzer with it at midfield as Dana comes on to join Wilrich and Coker up front. Addy with it at the left point side of midfield. Under some pressure from Wirtz, he plays it back for Kevin Crowe, the San Diego State grad and a member of our national team. Crowe's really hoping this ends tonight so he can play for the national team on the 31st, if selected. Long ball up the right side for Addy Coker. It gets by Wirtz, and Coker loses it to Stankovic, and it rolls back to Scott Manning. Very special guest will join us at halftime, Frank Dale, the commissioner of the Major Indoor Soccer League, his first visit here in the playoffs. Stankovic to Stan Stomakovich, and he's knocked off the ball by Addy Coker. Here's Crowe up the right side for Clavillo. Fernando will take it to center. Long ball for Quinn, right on his foot. In on goal, and Manning with the save. Dana on the rebound. In front for Clavillo, and his shot goes out of play. And on our video live library scoreboard. 10:47 left in this second period. Still a 1-1 tie here on the championship series.
Riding along in my GTI, my baby sitting by my side. I stole a kiss at the turn of a mile, my curiosity running wild. Cruising and playing the radio, with no particular place to go.
The new Volkswagen GTI is fun, even with no particular place to go. GTI, Motor Trend's Car of the Year.
See the 1985 GTI at your San Diego County Volkswagen dealer.
Scott Manning with the ball inside the Baltimore penalty area. A little over 10.5 minutes to go in this first half of play, and it's a 1-1 tie. So far, things have been very tight. Long pass up by Manning, taken by Tim Whitman. Now to the right side for Bruce Savage. He'll work it down the lane for Stan Stamenkovich. He gets by Clavillo. Stan Stamenkovich tripped up in front of the San Diego penalty area. Sockers don't like the call, and now they're going to get a penalty as Kaz Dana gets a yellow card for dissent. And Dana will go off for 2 minutes, and the Sockers captain losing his cool a little bit that time. And Dana will sit for 2 minutes. So now the no-goal patrol goes to work. And San Diego's penalty killers have been awesome in the playoffs. 80% effective. The opposition has scored only 5 times on 26 chances. And in a league where the power play results from many of the goals, that's a great stat. The Blast now want a timeout, and they will get it. Kenny Cooper not liking what he saw on the power play unit, and he'll bring them back. And we'll break with 10:20 left to go in the second period on the Video Library scoreboard. Still a 1-1 tie.
We're all members of the Padres pack. Right here's our home plate. McDonald's, quarter pounder with cheese or a great big Mac. Join us, don't be late. A large size drink and bonus prize. The Padres pack puts stars in your eyes. What a good time. The Padres pack for the great taste. We'll be back on McDonald's.
We're back live at the Sports Arena. A power play coming up for the Baltimore Blast with Kaz Dana off. And by the way, you can still pick up a no-goal patrol T-shirt, even if this series ends tonight, at the Sockers office at the Sports Arena. Kaz Dana in the sin bin for 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct. That penalty coming at 4:40. So on the no-goal patrol this time around, it's Clavillo, Quinn, Crow, and Schmetzer. On the power play for Baltimore, Vern Holzenbein, Jeff Prakazi, Dave McWilliams, Joey Fink, and Stamenkovich. Holzenbein, a World Cup star for West Germany in his younger days. Back to the left side for Prakazi. Back for Holzenbein to Stamenkovich. Now to Holzenbein up in the slot. Back to Stamenkovich, right side. Clavillo watching him. Holzenbein, far post pass. Kicked away by Schmetzer. Prakazi now sets it back up into the slot. Stamenkovich assumes control. He moves in, takes a shot that hits Quinn, and it'll ricochet back into midfield. Scott Manning way out of his goal. Clears it ahead. Schmetzer gets to this, and he's fouled by McWilliams. And that's the third Blast foul. And Quinn will drag it back into his zone, play it across for Kevin Crow, and kill off some penalty seconds. Crow back into the box for Jim Gorsuch, and he'll play with it a while, and now Stamenkovich will pressure him. Gorsuch still with it, killing off time. And Stamenkovich finally forces him to pick it up, and Gorsuch's so good at that. Here's Crow at the red line, up to midfield for Jungle. He's brought down, and that's a foul. And the Blast have their fourth. Still 1:01 left in the power play for Baltimore. 1-1 our score. Gorsuch, top of the box, and that time he kicks it out of play. If it's the other wing, well, with the benches there, I guess it doesn't make any difference. It wouldn't have been too high had there been glass there, suffice to say. Here's Stamenkovic. Power play underway for Baltimore. Up the middle, Stamenkovic going around Quinn. Great ball skills by Baltimore's number 10. He's got it up in the high slot. To his left is Prikazi. And he'll drop it to the big shooter from Yugoslavia. Back down the wing for Stamenkovic. And Schmetzer will get it back for the Sockers. Up the wing for Clavillo. Down the wing, short-handed, but he'll back it out. Now to the corner, and he's fouled. And Baltimore pick up their 5th. And this power play has been not very powerful for Baltimore, and in fact, they picked up some key fouls. Kick in San Diego, near side corner. Jungle off the glass. Crow coming in, and it's kicked out by Joey Fink. And now another San Diego restart. Still 22 seconds left in Dana's penalty, but 3 fouls by the Blast during this penalty so far. Jungle out there to create some offense on this penalty killing unit. Namdar, Quinn, and Crow also out on the shift, and Kenny Cooper juggling his power play around a little bit now, getting some more defense on with Dana prepared to step on the field in 22 seconds. Now Jungle from the near side to Cha-Cha Namdar. That's played all the way back for Brian Quinn. He will roll it back to Gorsuch. Jimmy plays it for Namdar, back for Gorsuch. Now out for Quinn. Brian will try and bank it up to midfield, gets it to Jungle, back again for Quinn. Killed off the penalty. So the no-goal patrol prevails again, as did Baltimore's in the first period. And now we're at even strength. 1-1, and the Blast are a foul away from a penalty of their own. Wilridge to Jungle. Off the wall, Dana chasing the rebound to the far boards, and is kicked out by Ercole. McWilliams plays a dangerous kick up the wing for Chinapu. Katakalitis will get it out to midfield with a nice move to Dana. Now Schmetzer. Stops it before crossing the line, plays it back to the middle for Katakalitis. He'll bring it into the zone, play it left side for Dana. Off the wall and back for Jungle in the high slot. Steve has a look. Drops it back, nobody there. He gave it away almost and gets back to clear it to Manning. Heinz Wirtz just about pouncing on a loose ball that could have been breakaway. Now Segota, the lone goal scorer for San Diego. The red line, tries to go through Chinapu. Wilridge now trying to drive it past big number 15. He has no success. And Chinapu has continued to impress in this series. He's big and strong at 6'1" and 176 pounds. Wilridge, a big strong one himself, shoots, and Manning makes a nice save, fading to the left. Now Heinz Wirtz with under 7 minutes in the half. Back for Ernie Buriano. Ercole back for Wirtz. Now Stamenkovic up the wing for Stankovic. He bumps with Katakalitis, the give and go over Stankovic's head. Doesn't shoot with Katakalitis so close by, using his arms so well to shield off the defenders. Whitman's shot blocked. Now back to Stamenkovic. He tries to flip it up. That hit Namdar in the arm. It doesn't get called. Here comes Cha-Cha down the right wing. He's got Jungle. But 3 defenders get back. Namdar drops it back for Segota. Clavillo and Crow back on defense. The pass comes to Crow in midfield. Now to the left side for Clavillo. Fernando takes it in, plays it left for Crow, who makes a run down the left wing. Ahead and off the wall right to Bruce Savage. And now it's Stankovic again. Crow trying to run him down in midfield. Stankovic gets it to the left side for Stamenkovic. Coker off the bench again and just clips it away from Stamenkovic from behind. Second time he's done that so far tonight. Here's Segota working it out of his own end to midfield. With Clavillo. Quinn breaks out right side. Clavillo takes the pass on the left wing. Into the zone. Back for Bronco. He lets it roll to Crow in midfield. Crow backs up. Some pressure from McWilliams, and he'll just clear it back for Gorsuch. Still 1-1. Goals by Segota and Savage. Quinn in midfield. Nearly lost it. Still coming forward. Plays it to Segota, and that's knocked up the wing for Ercole. Clavillo drops back on defense. Ercole will bring it back into midfield. In fact, all the way to his own zone for Savage. Savage gives it away to Clavillo. And the Sockers will start upfield once again. Eddie Coker, one playoff goal to his credit so far. Now Katakalitis. His pass blocked again by Chinapoo. And Baltimore certainly don't, at least so far, look too demoralized from that thrashing they took on the weekend. Coker's left footer bounces into Manning's arms. He'll drop it down for Tim Whitman. Back for Savage as Coker pressures deep. Now Whitman will try it out the left side of his own zone. Back across for Savage. Savage would be on the national team as well if this series were not underway. And in fact will likely join them for that key game against Costa Rica on the 31st. The United States needs a win or a tie to advance to the next group with Canada and Honduras. Anything less than that and they're out. The game will be in Torrance, so that gives them an advantage. The game in Costa Rica was a 1-1 tie. Ball loose in midfield. McWilliams after it. Schmetzer fighting for it. Baltimore still with 5 fouls on the clock. They have been for the last 3 or 4 minutes. Quinn gets it loose at midfield. He'll go down the left lane with Joey Fink on him. Quinn all the way to the corner. Draws it back. Shoots it off the wall. In comes Schmetzer a little late. It's cleared out from the far post by Savage. Now Katakalitis back of his own red line. To the left for Quinn. Bryan will bring it across the line. Ahead for Coker. Addy shielding it well. Drops it to his left for Segota. He's watched by Buriano. And now lost to Dave McWilliams. Schmetzer gets it back to Segota. Bronco off the glass. Coker the header. And it went off Buriano. The rebound back to Katakalitis at the line. To the left for Schmetzer. Great action here in the second period. To the right point for Namdar. Cha-Cha in for Coker on the give and go. And the pass back to Namdar a little behind him. And the Blast will bring it out of their zone. Under 3 minutes in the period. Ernie Buriano, formerly with the Buffalo franchise before their demise last season. And Stamenkovic will just hold it and try and kill off some time, with Baltimore showing 5 fouls. Hainsworth plays it to Manning in front of the penalty area. Back out the right side for Stan Stamenkovic. His pass for Hainsworth. Wirtz across the San Diego line. Goes past Namdar. Still on the ball. Wirtz into the box, and it's kicked out by Katakalitis with Ercole coming in. Now he and Gorsic have a look at each other as Ercole pushed off the San Diego goalkeeper. It won't amount to much more. Let's break with 2:20 left in the second period on the Video Library scoreboard. Still a 1-1 tie at the Sports Arena. Kick in Baltimore, right side of the San Diego zone. Went off of Namdar. Now Wirtz plays it back in. Gorsic will venture out of the goal and play it ahead for Ladouceur. 2:10 left in the half. Ladouceur up for Steve Daly, near side of midfield. Back for Kevin Crowe. And the Sockers a little stalled in their effort to go forward so far tonight. Daly back into midfield for Gene Wilrich. Ahead for Wilrich. Chased it down, got away from Stamenkovic, and plays it back for Clavillo. Here's Fernando. He'll go up the middle. Take it wide to the left. And a shot is blocked. Comes off the glass, back down to Ladouceur. His drive wide. Wilrich on the rebound. It's cleared, but not out. Clavillo to Daly, to Clavillo. The toe poke deflected and out of... No, hits the glass. Stamenkovic along the boards with Wilrich, and Baltimore get it back to Scott Manning. Sockers all around the Baltimore net, but unable to put it in. 1:25 left now as the Blast try and break it out, but Crowe intercepts. To Daly, back for Clavillo in midfield. Now up the left side for Ladouceur. He moves in. Jacques trying to drop it back for Clavillo. Gets it left side now. Fernando under some pressure. Back for Ladouceur. His shot hits Wirtz. And the rebound drops to Whitman in front of the Baltimore net. Now a minute to go in the period. Stay tuned at halftime. Commissioner Frank Dale joins us. Kevin Crowe with the ball at midfield for San Diego. Across the Baltimore red line. Zungel at his left. Plays it back for Schmetzer. Schmetzer down the left side to Kevin Crowe in the high slot. Kevin has a look. Woolridge at his far right, played in for Jungle in the box, but forced back to Manning. And the Sockers can't draw that 5th foul from Baltimore, and that's been a great job by the Blast to stay foul-free for so long. Whitman across his penalty area for Savage, now up the right side. This is a 2-on-1. Fake to McWilliams, but Schmetzer gets back to clear it away. Crow working it up for Daly. 14 seconds in the period. Woolridge behind his own red line, and they might not get enough time. Woolridge up the right side for Dana, fighting for it in the corner. It comes back out, and that's going to do it for the period as Jungle takes a shot at the buzzer. So that's the first half of play here in Game 5 at the Sports Arena. And on our video library scoreboard, a very tight contest. The Sockers won, the Blast won, and our halftime show is coming up after this. We're back live at the Sports Arena in San Diego, halftime of Game 5 of the championship series with the Baltimore Blast and the San Diego Sockers in a 1-1 tie. And this crowd is really into this game. And with me as a very special guest here is the commissioner of the Major Indoor Soccer League, Mr. Frank Dale. And Frank, right about now, you're about as popular in San Diego as Al Davis. Do you kind of regret the way things have worked out this first month, or was it just part of the job?
Not at all. No, not at all.
I don't want to dwell on it because it is ancient history and you've made your decision and the Sockers have overcome it. But do you still firmly believe that it was the only way the league could go?
The league, that was the way that the ruling had to be made. It's interesting that you get outside of San Diego and most of the writers agree with the decision. What the dispute now is over is not the ruling, but rather whether or not you go back and play the game over or not, and the practical considerations there control that decision.
And I would assume you thought about, in fact, I read that you thought about replaying the game, but with playoff scheduling and a network TV game to consider, it became a hassle.
And the availability of the arena, the cost of going back, you know, you replay the game, let's say, from the moment of the infraction, you could have a 10-second game. Who's going to be there to watch it? I think the ruling was correct.
One other bit of unfinished business, and then we'll go on to other things. A lot of the people in this city wondering why the commissioner wasn't at games 1 and 2 here, comparing it to Bowie Kuhn or Peter Uberoth missing the World Series. What about it? Why weren't you here?
Well, I had previous engagements in another city that needed my presence. I think it's really only vital that I be here to make the presentation. I certainly was not afraid to be here. If you know me at all, you know that was not the case. I had other, more important business for the league at that time with another franchise, and I was there.
That franchise, I know that you're speaking of the Las Vegas Americans.
You don't know that. You're assuming that.
Oh, well, that's what I read, that's who you were with. Well, anyway, what is the situation with the Las Vegas Americans? Is that franchise going to be back next year, and are they in good shape?
Yes, I think so. Good shape, that's a relative term. But I think they'll be back, yes.
Let's talk a little bit about the shootout. That was a very controversial procedure in the way that it ended up in the soccer series with Minnesota. What is your feeling on the shootout in the indoor game when there seems to be so many goals during regular play that a procedure like that almost seems to be outdated?
I don't know that it's outdated. I think it was highly unusual that you could go that long without somebody scoring. And particularly with a good team like San Diego team, you would have thought that there had to be some scoring. It may just be a fluke, but the competition committee will review that, and we'll have some recommendations during our annual meeting.
You've stepped into this job at the end of a season. You have an off-season now to evaluate the league and put your plan into action. What is your plan? What are the things utmost on your mind right now that have to be implemented?
It would be presumptuous of me to come into a new sport and have a plan in place. My plan is to do a thorough analysis of what's going on. I am visiting now every franchise between now and the 24th of June, every franchise for 2 days. I left Tacoma to come down here tonight. I'll take a 6 o'clock flight back tomorrow morning. Then I go to Kansas City, St. Louis, Pittsburgh, Cleveland. I'm visiting them all, sitting down with the owners, getting all of their ideas, all their complaints, everything out. Talking to the coaches, the general managers, the press, if they're interested, making a speech, whatever is necessary to get to know everything. And then we'll have a full program of recommendations to the owners in our meeting the last week of June. It'll be in Dallas.
Mr. Dale, one of the areas where the league doesn't seem to have that much problem is the electronic media. Indoor soccer makes great pictures. A number of the teams have good television packages, and you even had some exposure last weekend on national TV.
Yes, yes.
The print side of things is another story, and I know you said yourself, in a city like Los Angeles and a paper like the Herald Examiner, which you were just most recently publisher of, they virtually ignore the sport. How do you change the newspaper industry over to following this as a serious sport?
I don't do that. That is the responsibility, it seems to me, of the franchise in that city. I think the franchise in Los Angeles does not do a good job with its local press. I think here they do a magnificent job. The press is very supportive. They are in some of the other franchises. I can help teach these owners and general managers how to work with the press. I don't think I'm the one that ought to come in here and ballyhoo this franchise as such. I will do all I can for the entire league, and I've already started on that. I think that's a local problem in each case, and Los Angeles is a specific problem. You often have that in the larger cities where there's so much competition for the sports ideas and the sports coverage. It's a problem to be worked on. You're absolutely correct, and I will devote myself to it. No question about it.
Well, Mr. Dale, you've made your presence known around the league, and certainly here in San Diego in a very short time. We wish you the best of luck on what you must feel is a very exciting challenge in the Major Indoor Soccer League.
Thank you very much.
Frank Dale, the commissioner of the MISL. Halftime here at the Sports Arena with the Sockers and the Blast in a 1-1 tie, and we'll be back after this.
When you're used to playing on a winning team, there's no room for second best. That's why I joined the team at Marvin K. Brown RV Center. It's deals like these that keep them on top.
Right now, Marvin K. Brown has cash rebates of $2,500 on any new or used motorhome or $5,000 on a new HMC.
San Diego has a new breed of champion, Marvin K. Brown RV Center, where service, selection, and satisfaction give you the home team advantage.
Randy Hahn back live at the Sports Arena. We have been given the opportunity to go down into the Sockers locker room here at halftime. A live shot for our viewers. Let's listen in.
Come on, guys. Come on, pick up our game. Okay, we don't really relax now. 30 minutes.
Sometimes I find that your over-eagerness to win games sometimes spoils it because you stop working as a team. You know, it becomes an individual thing. You've got to keep playing as a team. The difference between the last game and this game is the speed at which you play the ball. Quickness that you run. It was more like a ping pong in the last game. Now it's stop, push, stop. I don't know whether it's the player with the ball's not seeing it or the player receiving it's not moving quick enough, you know.
Yeah, people in front of you don't get the ball, they cannot, that's the point, so.
They're the back will say that they can't find it.
Oh, they cannot find what?
Well, it's usually the way it comes out.
As Ron Newman continues to chat things over with the Sockers, who obviously feel frustrated after that first half. Let's look at some stats now as we check the scoring leaders in the playoffs, and this was before today's game, and the Sockers hold down the first 4 positions. Steve Jungle with 35 points, and he's already broken the record of most points in a playoff year of 33 held by Stan Stomakovich. He did that with his 8-point outburst on Saturday in Baltimore. Then Branko Segota with 27 points, but he has another with that goal. Gene Wilrich right behind him with 23 points. And then Brian Quinn with a great playoff. 10 goals, 10 assists, 7 goals in the last 3 games coming into this one. Then we have the goalkeepers. And Jim Gorsuch miles ahead of Baltimore's Scott Manning. Gorsuch at 2.37 going into this game. And if he can hold the Blast to under 3 goals tonight, he has a chance to break the league record for the lowest goals against average in a series. Scott Manning's goals against back at 5.56 after those 14 goals against on Saturday afternoon. Halftime here at the Sports Arena. Highlights, the few of them that we have, at least offensively, coming up after this.
We're all members of the Padres pack. Right here's our home plate. Ricardo!
on back live at the Sports Arena. A little worse for the wear after a barrage of boos and all kinds of good stuff came out of the crowd while interviewing the commissioner. But that aside, let's enjoy some highlights from the first half of play. Bronco Segota got San Diego's only goal very early on, well, actually 11 minutes in to period one on a booming right foot shot that handcuffed Scott Manning along the near post. And just 22 seconds after that, the blast came back when Bruce Savage caught Jim Gorsuch moving across the penalty area the wrong way and tied it up. Manning in the Baltimore net was quite outstanding in that first half. He made 10 saves to Jim Gorsuch's 4 as the Sockers outshot Baltimore 18-8. Manning really has been the difference so far for the Blast. And among the people he shut down at least once was Bronco Segota, who set up teammate Steve Jungle beautifully on the far post, but Manning with a slide across save stops the most fearsome twosome in the indoor game. So now we're back to the live pictures and words. Hope you're enjoying the simulcast here on KLZZ and KUSI-TV 51. Third period now set to get underway. Scott Manning defending to go to our left, and Jim Gorsuch to our right as the teams have again switched ends. And we want to remind you that we're giving away $10,000 again on KLZZ. Listen in tomorrow morning for John Forsythe and more detail. From the kickoff, Blast trying to work it into the San Diego zone, and Gene Wilridge commits a foul on Mike Stankovic along the near side boards, just across the Sockers red line. So Baltimore get the free kick. Stankovic has not been a very imposing figure since Game 3 when he scored 2 goals. Clavillo sending the ball to midfield for Segota, but Savage got to it first. And now the Blast have it at midfield. Played back for Tim Whitman. The Sockers held scoreless in the second period, as were the Blast. Zungel and Segota make a steal. Here's Bronco, right side. Shoots it, and it's blocked by Stankovic. And it comes out of play near side into the seats. When Zungel and Segota close in on you, nasty things happen, like goals against. And that time, Segota's shot was blocked. It could have been another story. Wilridge with it again in midfield. Chips a right foot pass into the corner for Zungel. Out to Segota. He hits it wide. Bronco on the rebound, and he'll lose it. Quinn gets it back. In for Segota. Bronco in front. Shoots, and Manning. A beautiful save on Segota. Blast given away as Stamakovich tries an impossible pass out of the back. Here's Quinn on the right point side. Moves to the middle. Segota goes to the right. Shoots, and Manning with a great save into the seats for corner kick. And Scott Manning is atoning for Saturday. What a save on a great setup by Quinn, and then Segota with the blast. And Manning fully extending himself up high to make the stop. Bronco got all of that one, and so did Manning. Now corner kick San Diego to the right of Scott Manning as the Blast make a very slow line change. Stankovic walking slowly to the Blast bench. Quinn now on the corner kick. Off the glass and headed away by Wirtz. Into the crease, and Manning swats it out with his left hand. Played up the wing for Chinipu. Schmetzer knocks that back. Here's Jungle. His shot. Manning again with a bullet shot by Jungle on the save. And now Quinn fouling, and the Sockers lose possession. Well, Manning has been super to start this third period. Now his throw up midfield for Dave McWilliams. He goes by Katakalitis to the wall. George gets back there. Now in front. Here's a chance for Chinipu. In comes Schmetzer. Kicks it loose to Quinn. He's got Segota down the left side. Here goes Bronco. In on goal. Scores! Bronco Segota on a play that started from Schmetzer's clearing wall pass. And what a shot, catching the corner of the post and in past Manning, who must have felt certain it wouldn't go. And Segota comes alive again with goal number 2. And the Sockers get some momentum again. That one couldn't have been more perfect. Now 2-1 San Diego as Segota gets his 22nd of the playoffs. Sockers with the ball in their own end, trying to clear it. Here's Schmetzer to the right for Dana. And that line, Ladouceur on with Segota, has been responsible for both the goals. Quinn got an assist on that one. Wilrich left it for Schmetzer. He didn't see it coming. Let it go to the left point, but now collects it again. Dana up the left side for Jungle. Steve goes to the corner with Heinz Wirtz, his bodyguard, it seems, in this round. Wirtz has been shadowing Jungle all series long. Quinn gets his 11th assist to go along with 10 playoff goals. Now the Blast come down to the left wing side of the San Diego zone. Back to the point for Wirtz. In for Holzenbein. Back for Joey Fink. Now Buriano plays it wide to the right. Stomenkovic in the corner. In comes Schmetzer. Knocks the ball free. And Schmetzer is having a great period. Far side boards of the San Diego zone. Dana will collect it. Segota, number 22 of the playoffs. That's a season for a lot of people. A minute 44, the time of the goal. Here's Dana. Into the top of the box, tripped up. Ball still loose, and Stankovic tries to bring it out, but runs into Ladouceur. And so will get it back for San Diego. To Wilrich at the red line, pushing it wide to the right. Ladouceur drops it back for Clovillo. Fernando under some pressure. And he'll play it to his left for Kevin Crowe. We're live at the Sports Arena on the simulcast, Class and KUSI-TV 51. Kevin Crowe at midfield. Ahead for Segota. Back to the point for Ladouceur. He side puts it to the slot for Crowe. Back for Ladouceur. To Crowe in the box. Shoots and band on it with Whitman very close by. Now Wirtz kicks one high in the air. This will drop down right at the halfway line. And Clovillo heads it out of play for kick-in blast. We have 11:14 left in the third period on the Kobe Sports Arena swap meet scoreboard. And the Sockers lead the Blast 2-1. Watch for War of the Stars coming up Saturday, June 1st at 4:30. Bob Uecker and a host of pro athletes putting on a show here on KUSI, Channel 51. We're live at the Sports Arena. The ball in midfield, Mike Stankovic back for Bruce Savage. Stankovic at the right point of the San Diego zone. In for Stomenkovic. Clovillo, who's done such a super job last 2 games against Stomenkovic, guarding him. And now Quinn gets it in midfield. Away from Whitman. Here's Clovillo with Segota. Fernando trying to pass it through for Bronco, but misplayed it right to Manning. Good toss by Manning. Left side. Here's Stankovic to Stomenkovic. And he scores. And the Sockers get burned on a counterattack. Clovillo, going forward to try and score, created a deficiency in the back, and Stomenkovic left puts one in. Hopefully we'll get a chance to see it from the throw because Manning made a great toss. Clovillo trying to stop it and got turned around the wrong way. Stomenkovic buries it up high. Manning should get the assist on a great toss. Well, it'll actually go to Stankovic because he touched it and flicks it over to Stomenkovic. But a great play by the goalkeeper, and we're now tied again at 2. Live action, Addy Coker in the right corner of the Baltimore zone, and he's fouled. And we'll get a free kick, Sockers. Coker to Segota. His drive blocked by Buriano as the Sockers got it off quickly. Back to Wilrich in midfield. Stomenkovic with his 7th of the playoffs from Stankovic. Here's Segota. Joey Fink, a lead pass for McWilliams. He bursts down the left side but has trouble controlling. Still with it to Joey Fink. He drives it off the wall and Schmetzer clears it in the seats as the Sockers ran into an onslaught of red sweaters. And with 10 minutes left here in the third period on the Kobe Swap Meet scoreboard, we pause again with the score tied at 2. kick, Baltimore. Joey Fink to the right of Jim Gorsuch. For Hines Wirtz, and his shot is blocked by Wilrich. Back in and right to the arms of Gorsuch, played by Buriano. Now the pass upfield. Daly after it. Last get it back. Holson by to McWilliams. Steve Daly with it at midfield for the Sockers. With Wilrich, Schmetzer, Jungle, and Crow. Wilrich gets by McWilliams. Shoots, and Manning with the save. On the rebound, Wilrich after the header. And a dangerous play against Hines Wirtz. And this will be at the edge of the penalty box, directly in front of Scott Manning. And that's the second Baltimore foul. Sockers also with a pair. And now a dangerous free kick chance for San Diego. Jungle out there with Wilrich, Daly, Crow, and Schmetzer. Schmetzer in the wall with the Baltimore defense. Crow's in front of the net. Jungle to Daly. Shoots it wide. The rebound. Schmetzer stabs at it wide again. And the Blast clear it out of play up our side of the sports arena. And it'll come back in San Diego ball on the kick-in. I want to remind you, we'll be back for Game 6 on Thursday if the Blast win this evening. That'll be a 4:30 start on Channel 51 and the rebroadcast on Class at 7:30. Kaz Dana now kick-in Sockers, near side, just across the red line in Baltimore territory. Kevin Crow plays it up the left side for Jungle. Steve gets to it with Savage all over him. Jungle out the back door, in on goal, and a shot blocked by Stumenkovic. That's cleared, and here's Mike Stankovic. Left wing pass for Urkeley. Plays the carom nicely. Gets it down and shoots it wide. Rebound comes along to the near side boards for Brian Quinn. 2-2 our score. We're live on the simulcast on KLZZ AM 600 and KUSI TV 51, Cable 9. Here's Kevin Crow, right side, off the wall, and Savage will clear this away from Jungle. Savage now up to midfield for Stan Stumenkovic. Stumenkovic back for Tim Whitman. Whitman leaves it for Stankovic. Now to Savage. Bruce Savage up the right side. Kevin Crow blocking Whitman out of the play and gets it up to Addy Coker. And Addy will drop it back for Brian Quinn. 8:30 left in the third period. 2-all. As Quinn walks it to midfield. Ahead for Coker. Drops it for Quinn. Bryant will go down the right side. Partially blocked off the wall and into Manning's arms. And he'll walk it to the edge of the box. Now a long lob, and this will just be over the defense to give the Blast chance to get reorganized. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast on KUSI TV 51 and Class AM 600. Katakalitis to the right edge of the box, leaves it for Dana. Kazi now to the left side for Jungle. Back to the right point for Katakalitis. Now to the middle for Wilrich. He's watched by Stankovic. Turned around. Gene with great balance for his size. Still on it. Drops it to Jungle at the point. Steve trying to work over Tim Whitman. Pokes it back out across the line for Cobillo. Now up the right side for Dana. Kazi under pressure. Weaves his way through traffic back to the halfway line. Now turns it around to Katakalitis. George near side. Long pass ahead for Jungle. This will take the carom to Whitman. Steve gets to it with Dana. Jungle going to the right corner. Whitman still kicking at it. Steve on his feet to Dana at the top of the box. And he can't get a shot. Dana swipes at it 3 times and can't find the handle. Urkeley back to midfield for Baltimore. 2-2 our score. 7 minutes left in period 3. Mike Stankovic at the left point for the Blast. Goes around Dana. Now he goes past Katakalitis. George digs in, trying to clear it, and does. And Dana knocked down by Stankovic. And that's Baltimore's 3rd foul. And Stankovic showed us some skill that time, going down the left wing side. But Katakalitis hustling back to cover. Ball to midfield by Gorsuch, headed back the other way by McWilliams. Cobillo will gather it, play it to his right for George Katakalitis. Katakalitis, born in Greece, grew up in Toronto, Canada. Came to the Sockers in the Golden Bay deal last year that brought them Segoda, Jungle, and Cobillo as well. Not a bad trade or deal. Katakalitis from the right point, in for Quinn. Joey Fink gets to it. Quinn fights, gets it back, and then it'll roll off his foot to McWilliams. McWilliams in his own zone to the right side for Buriano. He'll play it to Holzenbein. One-touch ball back for Fink. Now Holzenbein again at midfield. Up the left side for McWilliams. He takes it, makes a turn. It's kicked off his foot by Katakalitis. Works after it in the corner. He and Ladouceur bump. The ball cleared by Schmetzer. Here's Ladouceur with Segota and Quinn. Drop to midfield. It went off his foot, but it's a good ball for Segota. Into the corner he goes. San Diego. And the Sockers pick up their third foul. Segota claiming he was grabbed, but it looked as if Segota gave a push. Hard to tell. 2-2 the score. Vern Holzenbein in midfield for Baltimore. A pass gobbled up by Quinn. He'll come to halfway. Stop, turn around. Plays it to the red line, and now left for Kevin Crowe. Kevin chests it down. The shot off the wall. Segota, the rebound. And it's kicked off his foot. Bronco fighting to get it back, and he does. Segota now out of midfield. One goal away from a hat trick. To the right for Schmetzer. McWilliams watching him. He plays it back up for Quinn. Brian Quinn now. He'll take it in. Off the wall. In on goal. He scores! A mistake by Scott Manning, and the Sockers lead again as Quinn plays a pass to himself off the wall. Manning commits himself but doesn't get there, and Quinn has a wide open net to tap it in. The 8th goal in 4 games for the mighty Quinn. Fink did a good job staying with Quinn, but then had to let him go. And that was an easy one. Quinn's 11th from Schmetzer at 10:03. 3-2 Sockers. The blast coming right back, and Gorsick kicks one out of play for Baltimore kick in. We have 4:48 left to go in the third period on the Kobe Swap Meet scoreboard. 3-2 Sockers, and we're back after this. Side of the San Diego zone. Stamenkovic off the wall, and Woolridge clears it up for Jungle. Steve taken to the wall by Erkel. He gave it to Stamenkovic, and he scored. And Jungle has to blame himself for that one. He gave the ball to Stan Stamenkovic. And it's 3-all. Jungle along the boards with Pat Erkel, and he seemed to have possession. And he just cleared it right to Stan Stamenkovic. No contest one-on-one. He buries it high again for his second goal. Back at midfield now as we're underway again. A 3-3 tie, and the Blast are not going to drop out of this championship series without a real fight. Stamenkovic, second of the game, 8th of the playoffs, unassisted at 10:41. He's been in on all 3 Baltimore goals. Fernando Clavillo now for San Diego, as that goal by Stamenkovic really took some steam out of the Sockers. They had some momentum going with that goal. So a mistake by Manning is covered by a mistake from Jungle. Clavillo, left side for Woolridge, just outside the Baltimore zone. And the Sockers are in a fight. It's ahead for Dana. Makes a nice turn, but his shot is blocked by Whitman. Now Clavillo up the left wing side for Woolridge. He has to beat Whitman. Gets it into Clavillo. Fernando trying to bank it off the glass. Kicks it way up into deck number 2. And that'll come down as a goal kick. Well, if the Sockers lose tonight and lose again on Thursday, we'd be back here next Saturday night, and tickets for that would go on sale Friday morning after the game Thursday night in Baltimore. This game not being televised back to Baltimore tonight. With the difference in the time zones, it's a little after midnight now there. But it is live back on radio. Kenny Cooper has to be feeling he's right in the thick of a great game. unfortunate turns for both teams. 3:30 left here in the third period. 3-3 the score. 3-3 the foul. Joey Fink out of his own zone, plays it up the left wing, and this will roll to Jim Gorsuch. Dave McWilliams pressuring him, and Jim will play it out for Addy Coker. Coker out with Wilrich, Schmetzer, Shigoda, and Katakalides. Wilrich at the halfway line, takes it down the lane, goes by Holzenbein, off the wall, and it ran all the way off the wall past Addy Coker. Fink will bring it back out, ahead for McWilliams, and that's intercepted. And Baltimore wasting their chances from time to time in midfield, like that time. Shigoda, far side of midfield, played back for Schmetzer. He stops at center, leaves it for Shigoda, kicked off his foot by Buriano. Back to Katakalides. Namdar comes on the field, takes the ball from Katakalides. At center, Namdar moving in on Joey Fink. Slips it ahead for Ladouceur. Shot goes to the right corner. He's kicked by Heinz Wirtz. No foul call. Jeff Mantell was right there to see it. Namdar still on the ball. Drops it back for Katakalides at the red line. George to his left for Namdar. Shigoda's in the box. Cha-Cha goes to the left corner with Joey Fink. Namdar still with it. Plays it to the point for Katakalides. Right side for Schmetzer. In for Shigoda. Back for Schmetzer on the give and go, but McWilliams did a good job to stay with his man, and now Shigoda fights back on defense to poke the ball to Gorsuch. Back out the right side for Katakalides. Under 2 minutes in the period. Here comes Shigoda. Wilrich steps on the long end of the bench. Here's Shigoda down the right side, off the wall. After his own rebound, he fell. No foul. Here's Ercole back the other way for the blast. 2-on-2. Plays it to his left. Buriano. And Gorsuch, a sliding move outside the box to clear it away. Buriano out of the left corner. And he's knocked down by Ladouceur, allegedly. Fourth foul against the Sockers. Well, Buriano was touched by Jacques, and incredible how he succumbed to gravity so quickly. It's been known to happen in this game. Stomenkovic off the free kick, left edge of the box. Drops it back for Buriano. The hard shot hits Katakalides. Caroms to the far boards, but the magician Stomenkovic has it again. In front, and this one hits Ladouceur. Stankovic after the rebound. He drops it to Buriano. And now Stankovic fouling Ladouceur the other way, and the possession will change. Fourth foul for the Blast as Wilrich puts it into play for Katakalides. 3-3 our score, live on the special simulcast from the Sports Arena. Clavillo to his left for Wilrich at midfield. Fernando dropping back as Wilrich plays it in. Shigoda gets the rebound, right point side. With Gene Wilrich into the corner for Gene. Across for Kevin Crow, but it never got there. Stankovic blocked it. Wilrich again at the far wall. Under a minute as he goes to the corner against Stankovic. And Stankovic commits Baltimore's fifth foul. Wilrich now on a kick in. Far side again, just off the corner. Has a look, off the glass, and it comes back out, and Stankovic will clear it to midfield. Shigoda after it. Bronco bumped by Ercole, and that's a sixth foul for Baltimore. And that was a bit of a cheapie. Stankovic over to argue, but Ercole will go off for Baltimore. Shigoda after it, and Ercole just came in a little hard and bumped Bronco out of the way. Looked like a foul. And Ercole will serve the sixth foul penalty to Baltimore. So now 47 seconds left in the third period, and of course this foul will spill over into the fourth quarter. Sockers 0 for 1 on the power play so far tonight. Wilrich, Shigoda, Jungle, Quinn, and Dana out on this unit. Killing the penalty for Baltimore, Wirtz, Whitman, Chinapu, and Savage. 14-13, time of the Baltimore penalty. Gorsuch up to the halfway line. Wilrich will play it to the right point for Shigoda. Bronco ahead for Quinn. Back for Shigoda down the right side and into the corner. Chinapu there. It's back to Wilrich. Gene has a look at goal. Passes to the left for Jungle. In front for Quinn. He stabs at it, but Chinapu was able to clear it away. And now Chinapu breaks out with Whitman. Long ball for Whitman, too far. Gorsuch will go to the corner, and he'll play this out of a jam, he hopes, and into the box. Gorsuch now with 16 seconds. Up for Quinn. Bryan to Bronco. He's got a lane with Dana in front, and his pass is blocked. 9 seconds in the period. Wilrich knows it. He winds up, shoots, and it's wide, and that'll do it for the third period. So the Sockers will have a minute 14 coming back on the power play. It's going to be a great fourth period. Maybe the end of the championship series. Maybe another trip to Baltimore. On our Kobe Swap Meet scoreboard, it's 3-3, and we're back after this.
We're all members of the Padres pack. Right here's our home plate. McDonald's! Quarter pounder with cheese or a great big Mac. Join us, don't be late. A large size drink and bonus fries. The Padres pack puts stars in your eyes. What a good time. The Padres pack for the great taste. We'll be back. Of McDonald's.
A sellout crowd, 12,948 on hand here, and you can enjoy indoor soccer next year as the Sockers are now taking deposits on season tickets for the 85-86 campaign. With your season ticket, you'll get 5 games of free parking, priority on specified arena events, and exclusive entrance to the pregame arena club. Call the Sockers at 224-GOAL. 3-3 here at the end of the third period. It was 1-1 at the half, and then the Sockers came back early in period 3. Bronco Segota with his 22nd of the playoffs, second of the night, at 1:44, a left-foot shot that caromed in off the post past Scott Manning, and the Sockers had a 2-1 lead. But then Stan Stamenkovic comes back on a great ball played by Scott Manning to Stankovic and on to Stamenkovic. Sockers caught a little lean in the back, and he buried it for his second goal. But then Brian Quinn came back for the Sockers. After Scott Manning makes a mistake, Quinn goes in to score off the wall. And then Baltimore came back later with the goal again by Stamenkovic, and it's 3-3, and we're back to live action. Sockers defend the goal to our left. Here's Jungle. Far post Davis, and Manning keeps an impossible shot out of the goal. Sockers on a power play for another 48 seconds. Pat Erkley still serving the 6th foul penalty in the Baltimore sin bin. Here's Segota across the line down the left side. To his right for Wilrich. Deep for Dana. Kazi. Far post. They score. Jungle. Wilrich, a great crisp ball in for Dana, and Kazi played it perfectly to Jungle. May have gone in off his body. Far post to number 7. No, he did kick it in. Got his right foot up high, and it's 4-3 Sockers as Jungle adds to his already record point total. That's his 12th goal from Dana at 40 seconds. A power play goal for San Diego, and they lead 4-3. Here's a break for LaDouceur, but Buriano will clear it back. Headed into the Baltimore zone again by Dana at the left point. It's the Sockers captain. Drops it back for Schmetzer. He'll take it to midfield. Played up ahead. LaDouceur for Schmetzer. He's after it. Runs into Holzenbein. And a foul against San Diego. Terrible call by Cabrichin as Schmetzer was after the ball quite obviously. And it was his to have. Big collision between Schmetzer and Holzenbein. And the fans hold up eye charts. McWilliams goes over top of LaDouceur. No foul that time, and it's back to Jim Gorsuch. We're live in the fourth period. The Sockers with a 1-goal lead. They win, and the season is over. And they have a historic fourth championship. Here's Wilrich down the left side. Fouled by Buriano as he goes tumbling to the carpet. But no foul, and Manning makes the stop. Wirtz now works it up for Holzenbein. To Buriano. He walks it to the San Diego line. Drops it for Fink. Back for Buriano. In the high slot. Ahead for Holzenbein. To Wirtz at the point. Into Holzenbein. Can't get a shot. It's pulled to Jungle. Steve waits for Kevin Crow. Sends the Sockers defender down the left lane. Namdar supporting, and Crow will just back it out, and then he lost it to Buriano. Quick break up for Joey Fink. Sockers hustling back on defense. A 2-on-1 Baltimore break. And now McWilliams' ball for Fink goes rather lamely into the corner. Holzenbein will get it back. Into the slot for McWilliams. To Holzenbein. Too far, and Schmetzer will get to this. He works it up the wing for Dana. Took a bad hop. Here's McWilliams. Back for Savage. He winds it up. Passes to Holzenbein. The shot hits Schmetzer. Up in the air and off the lip of the glass and out of play. And with 12:30 left in the fourth period, on the Video Library scoreboard, it's the Sockers 4, Baltimore 3. Corner kick Baltimore. Stands to make it. On the ball. Looking to tie it up. To the right of Gorsick. Out for Picazzi. His shot just wide off the post. Clavillo trying to head it out. It comes back to Savage at the left point. In for Stamenkovic. The Jungle kicked it loose to Segota. Here's Bronco. Out the right side for Quinn. Quinn trying to go in on goal. Still with it. And he'll stop at the top of the half circle. Segota shoots. Manning, a great stop. And Manning has been spectacular. Quinn back into the slot for Segota. Bronco to Jungle. He makes the run to the box. And his shot goes out of play off Stankovic. Scott Manning has been immaculate in the net for Baltimore. Just that one mistake on Quinn's goal. But other than that, he has saved the blast. Quinn with a good job crowding the Baltimore defense in deep. And then Segota with a blistering drive that Manning gets his body in front of. And now Jungle. Corner kick left side. To Patakalides. Misses first time with a poor kick. Now he takes it in the right corner. Back out for Segota. This will come off the far wall to Bronco. Moves back into midfield with Whitman pressuring. Now the left side for Clavillo. 11:40 left. Here's Bronco Segota. Ahead for Jungle. Back for Segota. No, Jungle shoots. Jungle makes it a 2-goal lead for the first time as he uses Segota as the decoy. And they have 2 goals apiece, and the sports arena is a madhouse. Still 11:36 left, though, and the way this game has gone, one tends to stay away from saying it's over. It's certainly not. But the Sockers have their biggest lead of the game. And Jungle atones for his mistake. In unison, a sellout crowd cheers the Sockers on as they perhaps anticipate a championship in the waiting. Here's Ladouceur breaking to midfield with Daly. Steve Daly, far post, and Ladouceur couldn't get a foot on it. It comes back to the far wall and to Scott Manning from Buriano. Now 10:45 left. 5-3 Sockers. We're live at the Sports Arena. And if the Sockers win it, stay with us for the league championship trophy presentation by Commissioner Frank Dale. We'll also go into the locker room and speak with the victorious Sockers as they rewrite the indoor soccer record books. Dana across the red line, and Buriano will get it back for Manning again. Manning has to feel dejected, coming back after a devastating game Saturday when he's let 14 goals in. He's played so well tonight, but the Blast just haven't had the offense. Here's Dana for Jungle down the right side. Steve at the far wall. Out for Wilrich, and they'll have to back up to the left point to get to this one, as Jungle was just backed in too deep along that wall to our right. Wilrich again at midfield. And last goal, Jungle's 13th from Segota at 3:24. And if you can't stop Steve Jungle and Bronco Segota, 9 times out of 10, you're in trouble. 2 goals each. Here's Katakalitis in his own zone. Up to midfield, a pass to the right for Fernando Clavillo. Quinn, Segota, and Jungle also out on the shift. Quinn after a loose ball in midfield. Manning now boots one high up in the sky. This will drop down to no one, actually in front of Quinn. He tries to win it in the air. Now he's after it at the edge of the box. Nearly into the goal off the Baltimore defender. Manning's heart skipped a beat. Now it's back to midfield for Stankovic. Ahead for Stankovic. The magician goes by Segota. But Jungle there to intercept with Quinn and Bronco Segota. Jungle to Segota. What a pass! And it's wide. Quinn on the rebound. He'll take it to the top of the half circle. Tries to chip it in before Segota. Off a defender and out of play into the crowd. 8:50 left in the fourth period on the Video Library scoreboard. San Diego 5, the Baltimore Blast 3. Success breeds success. The fans doing the wave to the Ghostbusters or Cubbusters song if you prefer. Stan Stankovic with the ball for Baltimore in midfield. Chinoku breaks forward as well. Ball knocked off Stankovic's foot by Segota. And now Clavillo has it in midfield. Bronco Segota in the Baltimore zone. Gets it wide to the top of the half circle and then plays it back for Jungle. Now to Kevin Crow at midfield. 5-3. The Sockers leading. Segota comes off for a well-deserved rest as Crow plays it in for Quinn. Quinn back for Dana as Crow makes a run to the box. Kazzy, a hard shot. Crow after the rebound, but Manning gets to it first. He'll roll it out the right wing side to Mike Stankovic. Kenny Cooper pensively looking on from the Baltimore bench. He must feel that his chance to win a second straight indoor championship in the MISL is fading away. Hines works at the right point side. Out to the left for Richard Chinopu. Chinopu trying to set it up for a shot. Takes it down the left lane in front, and this will come to Dana. Kazzy will just wait and play it to Clavillo. Back to Dana and on to Jim Gorsuch. Gorsuch out the right side for Kevin Crow. Crow ahead for Ladouceur. Jacques turns it upfield, then turns it back for Schmetzer. A chip upfield for Dana. Over Kazzy's head, Holzenbein gets to it, but that's intercepted by Ladouceur. He banks it up the wing for Dana. Buriano back for Baltimore, clears it to Manning, the goalkeeper. And Stankovic and Stankovic both noticeably limping. They were beaten up badly in the semifinal series against Cleveland that was a war. And now a ball out of play by Holzenbein and will break with 6:50 left in the fourth period. On the Video Library scoreboard, 5-3 the Sockers, a championship in the waiting. At midfield. Up the left wing for Addy Coker. He'll go to the corner with Buriano. Coker digs it out. Back to Wilrich as the Sockers playing a little more tentatively now. Perhaps not as offensively. Wilrich shot kicked out by Manning. And the rebound will roll to Dave McWilliams. Joey Fink at his own red line for the Blast. To midfield. A pass up the right wing for Bernd Holzenbein. Daly broke it free. Comes back to Fink. And Katakalitis a step in front of this. And a foul, Baltimore. Only the second foul of the period. And Cooper down at the other end, now motioning to Scott Manning when to take the timeout to pull the goalkeeper for the extra attacker. Cooper played under Ron Newman. Came to this country as a result of Ron Newman, and now finds himself in another championship series against the same. A great story. Here's Katakalitis. Up the right wing. He's got some room. Off to his right. The pass for Segota. Off the wall and in front. Headed away. And now McWilliams gets it. Losing it to Jungle, who comes back on defense. Segota. Dropping it for Schmetzer. That's intercepted. And Joey Fink has it at the side of the Baltimore goal. Back for Manning, and he'll call the timeout. So 5:43 left. And the Blast will pull their goalkeeper now for the extra attacker. This is the way they did it in game 1 with about 6 minutes left, and they scored twice.
5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Maybe we can listen in on Kenny Cooper. Can't quite hear the blast, Coach, from the distance. Our cameraman is away, and the crowd here as the wave continues to go around the sports arena. Again, stay with us for our post-game show, an expanded edition. If the Sockers win, we'll have the presentation of the championship trophy, the league MVP award, and I would say either Steve Jungle, Bronco Segota, Gene Wilrich, Brian Quinn, or Jim Gorsuch have a shot at it. Take your pick. It's been a fabulous playoff for all of them, and all the rest of the Sockers, too. And after that, we'll go into the Sockers locker room. And a happy one it will be after a grueling season that began for many of these players in October at training camp. And here we are nearly in June. So now Stan Stamenkovich goes into the Baltimore net as the extra attacker. They pull their goalkeeper. The result is, in essence, a power play. The only difference being you're very vulnerable with an open net. And now here come the Blacks. Sockers have Segota, Quinn, Crow, Katakalitis, and Clavillo on the field. Stamenkovich walks it to the halfway line. A pass to his right for Wirtz. Back to Stamenkovich. Lines up for a shot, and that glances wide. Finds Wirtz after the rebound. He'll clear it, and Katakalitis gets it to Quinn. Quinn at midfield. With Segota. Quinn across the red line. Still with it to Katakalitis. George in the corner, and they don't need to rush things at all. They can just draw the blast out of the zone. And Clavillo will play it back for Gorsuch and just kill off seconds. Jimmy rolls it ahead for Kevin Crow. Up the wing and broken up. Finds Wirtz now chipping it for Holzenbein. He drops it back for Joey Fink at the far wall of the San Diego zone. And now Stamenkovich takes control again up the middle. To Prakazi. Big shooter, but this one into the arms of Gorsuch. Jimmy looks downfield, lobs it ahead for Segota. Bronco on the right side. Has a man to beat, and then Stamenkovich, he shoots, and it's blocked by Wirtz. The rebound goes to the corner. Bronco still after it, and he comes out with it. Here's Quinn. Along the boards with Fink, and Quinn is fouled. Played back for Crow in midfield. 4:28 left now. Sockers with a 5-3 lead, and a championship awaiting them if they can hang on. Here's Crow. He'll back it to Quinn. Crowd anticipating an outburst here in moments. Here's Jungle with Wilrich. Steve shoots it high for goal kick Baltimore. And there's 4:09 left. And Jungle was hoping for some dip on that shot, but it didn't dip until it went into the seats. Ron Newman and Johan Arnio have done a great job molding this talent-endowed team. And what a changeover from last season when we saw the V's and the Donnellys and the Wierzchowskis. And now a new breed and more success. And a lot of that credit must go to Newman and Arnio, who have worked with these players all year long. Here's Stamenkovich up to the red line. Right side for Chinapoo. Lines up. It's into the box and kicked out by Schmetzer. Schmetzer after it again as Fink takes a shot, and that's a foul, San Diego. Sockers' second of the fourth period. And now there's 3:51 remaining. Good free kick opportunity for Baltimore, left side of Jim Gorsuch. Stamenkovich back at the red line. McWilliams in the box. Stankovic outside. Here's Chinapoo a drive. That just missed high. Rebound comes back into midfield. Stamenkovich plays it to his right for Boriano. Back for Stamenkovich. The Baltimore net is empty. Stamenkovich in on Wilrich. Plays it to his left for Chinapoo. The shot, and Gorsuch with a save. It'll go out for Baltimore ball. And now Jim Gorsuch is getting his work as Chinapoo lets one go that goes off Jimmy's left foot into the seats. Now corner kick blast to the left of Gorsuch. 3:34 left. Fink on the ball again. Off the wall, and Crow stabs it out. Prikazi a shot with his left foot wide. And now Quinn has it. He'll break up across the red line. Quinn down the left side. He shoots, and Chinapoo saves it. Namdar after the loose ball. Gets to it. In the corner. In front is Quinn. And it's tackled away by Prikazi. Schmetzer with it. To Namdar. To Quinn. Stamenkovic with a save. Back to Joey Fink, and the blaster still alive. 3:05 left. As Stankovic comes to midfield. Sockers all back up into a defensive posture. The Magician waving his teammates forward. Crosses the line. Prikazi a shot. That one's wide again out the far side. Wirtz on the rebound. Stutter steps towards goal and is cleared by Schmetzer out of the zone. Stamenkovic again. 2:45 left. Across the red line. Plays it to Fink. His shot wide. And it comes to Segota. Bronco lost it to Wirtz. Blast still pressuring. Fink goes to the corner with Crow. Here's McWilliams trying to set it up. Back to the left point side for Prikazi. To Stamenkovic in the middle. Segota watching him. The curling shot. The header, and Gorsic kicks it loose again. Quinn trying to clear it. Gives it to Prikazi. 2:21 left. They're giving Baltimore plenty of chances. Here's Stankovic, and he kicks it out of play. Now 2:15 left. And this building ready to erupt. 5-3. The Sockers leading. We're live on the simulcast at the Sports Arena. Sockers will get a kick in from deep in their own zone. Fernando Clavillo standing over the ball. He'll play it ahead for Jungle. Steve losing it to Chinapoo. He comes down the left side. Shoots. It goes wide. Rebound. Off the crossbar by Prikazi. Chinapoo heads it back in, and Clavillo kicks it out. And Prikazi hits the crossbar. Still 2:04 remaining with the Baltimore net empty, and credit to them. They've done a great job keeping the Sockers from scoring into the empty goal. Here's Prikazi again. Gorsic bats it out. Jungle then toes it high in the air. It'll come down to Segota. He heads it forward, but Chinapoo will knot it back in. Katakalitis, a nice bicycle kick to get it to midfield. Chinapoo beat Jungle to the air in that one. And now Joey Fink clears it back for Stamenkovic. Ahead for Prikazi. 1:40 left. Right side for Chinapoo. Across the red line. Chinapoo with a big shot. Zungel knocking it just a little loose. Now to Wirtz along the right boards. Chinapoo to Stamenkovic. 1:25. And Stamenkovic walks across the line. To Chinapoo. The shot blocked by Katakalitis. Rebound off the wall. Gorsic's got it. And now 1:15 left as Gorsic lobs it ahead for Katakalitis. Stay with us for our post-game show. We'll go down to the arena floor for the presentations and then to the locker room. 1:06 to go. And now a minute left, and Gorsic calls timeout, and the goal will not count as Gorsic had stepped on the ball and showed timeout. McWilliams tried to kick it in, but it won't count. A minute left, and the Sockers lead 5-3. And Gorsic, very good at taking that timeout, and it's a good thing he indicated and got it with McWilliams cruising in to knock it in, and the Blast are arguing in vain with the officials. Played back for Gorsic now. He gets ready to call the timeout right away. Sets his foot on the ball. Timeout. And then McWilliams kicks it in. But it does not count. 5-3. A sellout crowd here. Only the second this season for the Sockers. Their first of the playoffs. The other sellout was against Las Vegas in the regular season. And now the "we're number one" chant comes up. With a minute to go, the Sockers need only play the way they've played all evening long. And that's use their game, dictate the pace. And now the goal kick. Gorsick with Clavillo. And you know the Blast will try and rush in there quickly to force Gorsick to make the play. Jimmy looks downfield. Nothing's on. Now he fires left wing side and out of play. And that used up only 7 seconds. Kick in Baltimore, far side, and they still have their net empty. Hainsworth will put it into play. He stands at midfield, far side. Wirtz back for Stamenkovic. He walks it across to Wirtz. He'll wind it up, push it deep for Fink. Off the wall in front for McWilliams and cleared out again. Stamenkovic with 40 seconds left in his season, perhaps. To Wirtz. Kicked out again by Crow. Now Jungle and Stamenkovic collide. The Magician comes up with the ball, but Clavillo will clear it downfield. Jungle trips over Prakazi in midfield. 20 seconds left in the Sockers season. Hainsworth with the ball, reminiscent of 2 years ago when the Baltimore Blast were also defeated here. Quinn to midfield, a shot, and it's wide off the glass. 5 seconds to go. It's in the history books. The San Diego Sockers have won their 4th straight indoor championship, and pandemonium reigns on the field. The final score on our video library scoreboard, 5-3 Sockers. Stay where you are. A massive celebration is breaking out here in San Diego as the Sockers win it all once again. Live at the San Diego Sports Arena for the post-game show here on the simulcast. It is pandemonium here on the field as the Sockers have won their 4th straight indoor championship. The final 5-3 this evening in front of a sellout crowd who are loving every second of this. And we'll be back with the official trophy presentation here at the Sports Arena as the party continues after this. To the post-game show here at the Sports Arena on our simulcast, KLZZ and KUSI-TV. The Sockers have done it. They have won an unprecedented 4th straight indoor championship in 2 different leagues, and now we are getting ready for the championship presentation. With me at the podium, the commissioner of the Major Indoor Soccer League, Mr. Frank Dale, Sockers majority owner, Bob Bell. And now, Mr. Frank Dale to make the championship trophy presentation to Bob Bell. Mr. Dale?
Bob, on behalf of the Major Indoor Soccer League, it's my pleasure to award you the championship of this season and congratulate you for a well-done championship game to all of these players.
Thank you, Frank. On behalf of all my players and all my staff and everybody in the Sockers and Stevie Jungle and all the bunch, I want to thank you. And I'll accept the trophy on behalf of all these fellas. Come on. Kaz Dana, our captain here. Kaz, you say something.
This is difficult to say something because I have 2 microphones. This is. I'd like to thank you for everybody for coming tonight. Thank you for whole season. We need you. I said, thank you very much. We win 4-time championship, and we need one more, 5 times. Thank you.
And here it is, trophy number 4. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce Mr. Bruce Hudson, the manager of soccer promotions in the United States for Anheuser-Busch, the folks from Budweiser who have done so much for the Major Indoor Soccer League. Bruce?
Thank you. On behalf of Anheuser-Busch and Coast Distributing, I'd like to present the Budweiser Most Valuable Player Award of the Championship Series for the 4th time in his career to number 7, Steve Jungle. Say a few words.
I just want to say a couple of words. This is the present from you fans, and I would like to share with you, all of you, because you deserve. This is the team. I was winning the championship before, but this is the best championship.
Steve Jungle, the most valuable player in the championship series. And now, Mr. Bruce Hudson will present to the team captains the finalist medals. Kaz Dana of the San Diego Sockers and Dave McWilliams of the Baltimore Blast. Gentlemen. Dave, a few words on behalf of the Blast.
Well, we just hope we'll be back again next year.
Dave McWilliams, captain of the Baltimore Blast. And now we ask Bob Bell to once again step forward, if he's still here, and officially present the trophy that is now his. There he is, to the Sockers captain, Kaz Dana, for the victory lap. Bob? And there they go, on their victory lap. The San Diego Sockers, champions of all indoors. The Sockers parade around the arena to the cheers of thousands. We'll go to a break and come back with more of our post-game show live from the sports arena as we go to the victorious locker room. Welcome back to the sports arena in San Diego. We are live down in the San Diego Sockers locker room. 5-3 our final score. And the champagne is about to flow here as the Sockers have done the unthinkable, won their 4th straight indoor championship, totally revamping their team from last season, and now they have won it all over again. And the champagne starts to flow here. And let's start getting people over here right now. Brian Quinn with 8 goals in the last 4 games of the championship series. And Quinny, congratulations. You've got to be just delighted over this whole thing.
I'm just glad it's over, Randy, because the last 5 minutes, it was like Alamo. We had to pull the goalkeeper in the shots. I was panicking so much. If we got a 4th goal, they would get a 5th one. But we held out, and when it was 5 seconds left, I knew we'd done it. It was so beautiful.
Brian, you have to, in victory... You have to give credit to the Baltimore Blast, Brian. They went out as champions and really played a fine final game.
Randy, the game wasn't over until there was 5 seconds left in it. They came here, they got a lot of character, and I feel myself, if they'd won here tonight, they would have won the series. I'm glad it's over, and we're the champions again.
And you're looking forward to a wonderful off-season, I'm sure.
Yeah, Randy, going to Ireland, and I'll have a lot of fun there and come back and get ready for next year.
Okay, we're waiting for more people to come over here in the locker room. Let's grab Fernando Clavillo. Fernando's right here, and congratulations, Fernando, on another championship for you with a new team.
Thank you, Randy. I'm really excited about this. It's just crazy. I think we deserve it. We played the whole season. I think it's impossible to say.
Well, as you can see, we're getting a shower here in the locker room. The players are certainly enjoying this 4th championship, and so am I. It tastes real good. Fernando, the Blast went out in style, though. They really put up a fight right till the final couple of minutes.
I think, they're a really good team. Nothing to be ashamed of. I think we beat them fair, and we deserve them what we're doing. They just is a good team. They fight until the last minute, but we are the champions.
Thank you, Fernando Clavillo. Great playoff series, 2 short-handed goals. Let's get Bronco Segota in here. Bronco, congratulations. Your 1st championship as a Socker, and I know you're just delighted.
I'm just frantic. I can't believe it. We took it to them in the 4th quarter, and everybody put it together. The fans responded. Unbelievable. I'm just happy to win it here.
Bronco, 2 goals again tonight. I said on the broadcast you had to be due after only 1 goal in a 14-goal game Saturday.
Well, yeah, it was my turn. They gave me a lot of space, and as you know, if you give me and Steve a lot of space, we're going to do the damage, and that's what happened in the 3rd and 4th quarter.
Bronco, congratulations on a great year.
Thank you, Randy.
Bronco Segota. And what a victorious locker room scene it is. The Sockers win another championship here at the Sports Arena, and the party will go all night long. That's it from here. We want to thank everybody involved. Not enough time, but especially our producer, Kermit Schumard, Ron Newman, for all his help and a great coaching job. And that's about it. Good night from the Sports Arena.
Tonight's game was brought to you by McDonald's. It's a good time for the great taste of McDonald's. By your 9 great San Diego County Volkswagen dealers. Drive the 85 Golf and Jetta and find out what driving is all about. And by Budweiser, the king of beers. Reach for that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you.